We just got one of the bigger update patches in Counter-Strike 2 that we haven't got for a really long time. And as you can see, it is the Armory. It has a lot of new skins, some charms, which is pretty much just gun buddies. If you have played Valorant, have seen it. This kind of works like a battle pass. And I mean, it is, but like we don't have like the typical operation. And operation has pretty much always just been, you know, added content to the game where, you know, we have like fun, like little missions and all that stuff. Like I remember when we had Operation Phoenix, for example, and we had like a whole like story and like these fun like game modes and stuff. But overall, it's kind of a smaller patch than I would have expected, but we'll have to see. The end of the year is approaching and they might just be waiting for the end of the year to do a super big patch. Who knows? It could just be cope, but you know, getting into this Armory pass, I mean, it's $15 and you can actually like stack these passes or whatever it is. So you can get skins, and to my knowledge, you pretty much just get skins and charms with this. And this is kind of how it looks. I'll show you in the game. And some of these charms actually look pretty funny. And these are all the skins, and a lot of them honestly look pretty cool. They're for all of these different overpass collections. We have graphic collections, sport and field collection. It's actually funny, when we saw the patch note, we were, you know, in a practice when we saw it, we thought that overpass was coming back because it said overpass collection at the very top, and everyone was super hyped. But nope, more skins, and all of them really cool. The fade, the gallery stuff. And I actually think that this is really nice, this scrape preview. I will show you that in the game. We pretty much have a case hardened deagle again. Seems like you just click on any of these and you can just go through, you know, whichever charm that you want. And if you want to see it on any of your skins, you can press preview charm here, and you know, you can show it here, just putting it wherever, which is cool actually. I don't know like how it would look, you know, depending on like where it is. So I think that's actually, you know, that's pretty cool. And this is actually kind of interesting. You actually have to pay to take off the charms, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel like they should definitely just allow that to be free. And you can see that for all of these things. You can just go through and, you know, check out the skins in game, see how you like them. So let's say that you're going to apply a sticker and it'll put it on this. Then sometimes, you know, these stickers have different things in like their, like when you scrape them a little bit, like they like look a little different. Okay, I guess this is a bad example, but things don't really change too much with when you scrape this one. But as you can see exactly how it looks at a different scrape, so you don't have to like guess, for example, and you can just put it to exactly where you want it. I mean, overall, I feel like this is, you know, just more skins that you can buy. It's like a case disguised as a pass that you have to like work for to do like the credit stuff. So for the actual gameplay part of this, animation is actually really huge, and you're definitely going to feel this in the game. This is one of like their focused gameplay changes here, even though it's not gameplay, it's animation. And some of these I'm not sure exactly what it means in terms of like pin unpin IK logic, but there is a lot of comparisons, as we can see. And make sure you check out Jackie Esports on Twitter. Every time there's a patch and I want to, you know, look for a before and after of how things look, he always is posting it. When you look at how these models are moving, they have a really obvious difference, and you can see it also with this one very well. So when you're doing like these direction changes, you can see on the before, there's usually like this little like, I don't know, I think Maui Snake honestly showed it the best, when you're kind of like moving to the left and it has a little bit of a drag, and now it's a lot more just instant, I guess. And it feels like it's not moving like so much. It feels a little bit more stable, and overall looks really, really good. You can see with the falling off the ledge that it does look a little bit different, and I think that this will, you'll see this like in the game, that you're not kind of going down as much. At least that's like kind of how I saw it, in terms of you don't have to aim as low as before. But yeah, I think that these animation changes are really good. It does affect peaking a lot. We'll have to see how much it's going to affect, but you know, maybe this is a slight T nerf. I'm kind of saying that half jokingly, but being able to hold angles better as a CT, and if the animations were a big part of it, which it definitely could have been, and it looks like it will be, then we should see some changes with that in terms of, you know, how people feel with their peaks. Maybe it's a little bit harder to, you know, take certain spots dry, things like that. You know, it's not going to be a massive difference. It's going to be like, you know, very, very small. And for this, the flashbang's no longer prematurely detonating. That was just like a bug. If you like hit something or like hit a teammate, for example, the nade or flash could just immediately explode. So nice bug fix. And I feel like overall there's a lot of bug fixes. Besides the animation change, there's a lot of bug fixes that they did. These two changes right here are actually really huge. So this fixed an issue where step sounds would play for the local player but fail to broadcast to other players, and vice versa. If I went for a strafe and I felt like it was short enough, I wouldn't hear something on my screen, but then my teammate specking me would hear it, and it would happen vice versa. It's interesting to see that they said it's only for like the local player, because I always felt like both ways. Someone would be like, oh, you made a sound, and I would either say that while I'm specking or while I'm playing, and the other guy would be like, no, I didn't hear anything. And fix an issue where ragdoll water splash sounds would erroneously play on alive players. This would mainly happen on Ancient. I would have a lot of situations where I'd be, you know, walking back from elbow, and I'd be coming here, and I walk in here, and then there's just a splash sound that plays. It's actually really similar. I'm curious like how close the relation to this was with the fix some cases where players could detect player movement through water from across the map. So I'm not sure which one it was, but I'm happy it's fixed either way. Really huge bug fixes that were really annoying to deal with for a bit, and I think that we finally got like 3 of the really big bugs that we would have just across the game, the other one being the boost bug. So having these 3 fixed, really nice. And in terms of like this network stuff, to me this was all just how things were measured. Let me know in the comments, but that's what it seems to be, that they're just changing how things are measured and nothing was actually changed in networking. But always keep in mind with patch notes with CS2, Valve is always adding things in and they're not putting it into the patch notes. So not necessarily everything that they change will be in here, and we'll have to see that over time from people testing different things. Now we get to the map section. You'll have to see some before and afters for this one, but there are some really bad peaks, and I'll go into game here to show you some of the changes for this. Getting into the game, as you can see now, this little gap here has been patched. It was super annoying for the CTs to deal with this stuff, and there was like a way to see it on the other side here, but it was pretty much impossible for the CTs to have any chance here. And then again, fixed a case where player shadows could be seen through geometry. That was actually also here too, I believe, or here. And this is the last big bug fix that they did here on Anubis, where they removed this little pixel that was in between the door. So what you could do before on Anubis is when you take mid as a T and you want to like hold to see if anyone was pushing you, you would pretty much do this with your screen, and you would look through this gap and you would see anyone that was, you know, rotating from here to here. Definitely really nice that they finally changed these things. So overall, not that big of a patch. They had a lot of bug fixes that they added, but you know, they didn't really change too much. There wasn't like a huge operation, because I don't really consider this like an operation to me. It wasn't like that big of like content stuff that we can do, or you know, there's no like new story modes or new things that you can do. It's pretty much just, you know, some things that you can do to get cases and open cases, but you're pretty much already paying for it anyway since you paid $16 for it. The bug fixes have been super nice though, and I think that it's nice that Valve is focusing on improving the overall gameplay. I wish that it was a little bit more all at once and we had like, you know, a new map or whatever, since it's about a month before the RMR. Just nothing really that cool, you know, to really, you know, go on about. But it is a really good thing that they are focusing on improving the core game. I think that should always come first, just improving the experience for everybody. You know, we all hope that it goes a little bit faster, but that's just because we love the game so much and we want it to improve. We want to be able to play with as many people as possible. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this update. Even though it's nothing crazy, at least they fixed a lot of these core bugs that we all want to see fixed. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.